the next chapter. It is not reinventing it. It's not a reboot in the way people traditionally say that. We acknowledge what's happened before, so in that sense, it's a continuation. But because it's a brand new human cast, it is a whole nother chapter.
But we're definitely trying to do something fresh and different. I love the first 3 movies, but we're just trying to do our own thing.
So we needed new cars, new robots, new characters, because that's what the audience is hungry for, injecting a lot of fresh elements.
Bringing in new heroes and Autobots is another key that brings it to a new level.
Hound is a great new character, voiced by John Goodman. His vehicle is an Oshkosh truck, which is very militaristic and powerful, and that's his character. Drift is the black and blue Bugatti, voiced by Ken Watanabe. And as a samurai, he's very elegant in terms of his fight moves.
He was going to be a black and orange Bugatti. That changed because the car that we were going to use was sold, because they only make a few of these cars.
Crosshairs is a green Chevrolet Corvette Stingray.
What we wanted to try and make was a character that wore a duster. So what I did is I took a Corvette, and what would happen if you cut it and then flayed it open.
Just look at the characters and what they become and how realistic they are as characters.
Michael went to a very big effort to make these guys character-driven, more human-like.
As the technology has advanced, we're able to get more emotion from them and really be able to identify with them.
They do have much bigger personalities, and you get to know them a lot more.
We introduced triple changers, which they've never had before in Transformers.
It's good to introduce new bad guys. The introduction of Lockdown is a big deal. He's a badass character. In car form, he's a Lamborghini.
Who is able to go underwater, which we've never seen an underwater character.
And Stinger is the Pagani, the arch enemy of Bumblebee. Galvatron is a brand new Freightliner truck that was custom made for the movie.
Galvatron in the original Transformers mythology is a kind of reborn, reconstituted Megatron. We wanted to pay homage to that idea, but do it a little differently than it had been done before. His physical form in this version is a man-made human creation.
And then it just goes over the top in a great way with the Dinobots, one of the most sought-after characters of Grimlock, with Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. You can't miss with that combination.
My initial pitch for this movie didn't involve an adult at its center. But before Michael had any sense of what he wanted visually or what he wanted in terms of action set pieces, he, from the beginning, and wisely so, decided that he wanted a protagonist for this movie that was completely different from the protagonist that the previous 3 movies had involved. So he was very adamant that the core character story be about a father and his daughter.
Dad, you can't keep spending money on junk.
I think the idea of a father-daughter story, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of poignancy to that relationship, and that grounds the movie and keeps it very centered.
Being able to ground this movie in a way where it's not just about a boy in his car, but making family the key to it is something that we're really excited about.
You know that the best thing that ever happened to me, do we look disappointed? It's the greatest day of my life.
We've never had the heart that this story has.
I'm not leaving my dad.
Once we decided that the core relationship for the human characters would be between a father and his daughter, Michael very much was all about trying to get Mark Wahlberg to do the movie.
You're in my house now, okay? I'm an engineer. My name is Kate Yeager.
Giving the Transformer franchise a new cast was a big job. It started with Mr. Mark Wahlberg. We became great friends on Pain and Gain.
And at some point in there, the conversation began between the two of them about whether or not, he'd be interested in coming into the franchise.
Can we put some debris on him, please? Put some stuff in his hair?
Once Mark said he was into doing it, then it became about Aaron writing a story around Mark and building a character for him.
Took a hell of a hit, Missile just missed your power source.
We call it a spark.
Beyond being a movie star, he's an adult. He's a male action hero. That's a different vibe than what we've done previously.
It's opened up a whole new window of how you look at the lead character and how the lead character interacts in the movie.
Take that gun down right as that dolly's arriving, all right? Okay. Don't take it down before. It'll be cooler when we meet you.
I like the fact that I'm now playing the dad. I'm embracing getting older. It's happening, it's inevitable, so I might as well embrace it.
Mark is one of the most hardworking people I've ever met in my entire life. He's so prepared.
Part of his process is him reading the script over and over and over. He knows everybody's dialogue.
And yet, he never showboats with it. He never throws it in your face. He doesn't want you to know that he got up, when you were sleeping to work out 3 times before he came to set that morning, and that he produced 7 television shows before you had your breakfast, and that he just got thrown off the side of a building, by a Decepticon. He is the real deal.
What's great about Mark is there's a very American aspect to who he is. There's a certain amount of average Joe about him. And that serves this plot in a great way, because we meet him as a character who is living a precarious financial situation in his life, like many people in our country.
He is skilled and talented, but life hasn't entirely gone the way he planned it to. So it was important to us in a story that's dealing with how private enterprise is trying to take advantage of transformer technology, to have a character who is comfortable dealing with technology, but has no worldly goals for himself in mind other than trying to provide the best life he can for his family.
Yes, you can take a ride with your friends.
Okay. Don't work all night.
Don't try this at home, kids.
Dad! There's a missile in the family room!
The 2 kids were fantastic to work with. It's a hard deal to come into this franchise. It's such a massive production.
They're young and they're new.
You get yell as loud as you can. Get in the car, all right? Okay? All right. You gotta amp it up.
It's pretty much the deep end for Jack and Nicola.
Don't put it in reverse. No one see you go into reverse, okay?
It was kind of young actor boot camp.
3, 2, 1, go!
It was just a matter of having them understand how vigorous the pace would be.
Go back,
And that you have to be ready for anything.
Whoa, look at that.
I did not expect that.
Good, huh?
Paying attention to everything that's going on in the script, even if you're in a scene where you don't necessarily have dialogue, so you're just kind of showing up on that day. No, you need to understand everything that's going on around you. There's a lot of moving parts.
3, 2, 1, action!
Especially when you've done smaller things, television. The scale at which we're doing things is overwhelming to people who've done scale.
There's a huge physical aspect in this film. It was really intense.
To suddenly be thrown in that, and you're trying to find yourself as an actor, and wait, there's these creatures that are there, but I can't see them, but I have to learn to act with them.
Looking back. Robot goes right over you, looking right up and over you, and get in the car.
At the same time, I have really accredited actors I'm playing against, and oh my God.
It's an incredible experience to be able to come on the set of a film like this every day and do things that you actually watch in these movies. And I feel very honored to be there and to be part of it.
I was really proud of both their performances.
And there's a real long line of actors and actresses that have brought something to this franchise that is special.
And look, bad guys are important. Kelsey and Titus are great bad guys. Kelsey is not known, I think, as much, for that type of role, but he's awesome. Titus is a great bad guy, too. I mean, I think his line where he says to Mark, I'm James Savoy, I'm a federal agent. I want to be that guy when I grow up, right?
They're very different to any of the characters that we've seen before in the Transformers series because they really mean to get out there and get the job done, even if they hurt people. Even if they hurt innocent people, they make no bones about it.
Fewer than a dozen Decepticons are still on the run, thanks to our CIA unit, Cemetery Wind.
Savoy and I are twinned in spirit about what we're trying to do, and that is to make sure that we're protecting our planet.
As for the alien technology, our objective remains to keep it in American control.
But we're both on the good team as far as we're concerned.
So I'm sort of the tip of his spear. He delegates to me, and I take the action. We don't waste any time. Kelsey and I just, you know, we get it done. If we don't like what's happening, we change it very quickly.
You have no idea what you're involved with here. All you need to know is that I alone can get you out. I think in the end you believe that this man could exist, and that if he does exist, you should be scared of him. But there's a couple of moments in this where I'm a little dry, maybe, and you might get a laugh.
It's this close to winning. That's what I'm upset about.
If you look at every Michael Bay movie, they're all funny. You know, there's probably only one movie in that whole group that doesn't have a tremendous amount of humor because it wasn't supposed to be funny. There's a reason why they're funny. Michael's a funny guy.
And he also loves to collaborate with comedians.
What are you gonna do, play around with it?
I like play with it.
Play with it. What are you gonna do, play with it? So do you want to land on that and just drop the joke about the barn lab?
Yeah. A lot of it is improvisational. I'm an improviser by trade.
You can't just keep an alien in your barn. What are you gonna do, play with it? If you die, that GTO is mine.
Okay, good. Let's go again.
If he eats you, I get the GTO.
You know you're on a roll if he comes out from behind the monitors and he's crying and the crew is stifling laughter. So it's been really quite an experience. And I think that Lucas, you know, who's the character that I play, but I talk about him in third person because I think he talks about me in the third person. I know I do when I'm him talking about me.
Mike loves his comedy. TJ is one of the ways that he delivers that. Stanley delivers a lot of that comedy as well.
Really? You want to do this now, huh? Can we just get this alien taking, beeping bomb to the bridge? Come on!
He does make my job very difficult, I have to say, because he is so funny. And I got into trouble, I think, day 1 or 2, where Michael said, you know, Michael Bay said, you're ruining my shot, you can't laugh at him. And I said to Kelsey Grammer, I was like, dude, I don't know what to do, like, what do I do? And Kelsey, you know, having worked in comedy himself for so long, he said, honey, you just gotta freeze him. Freeze him.
Now I can't imagine anyone else playing Joshua Joyce. We wanted Joshua to be a different version of what Cade is. Someone who, in his heart, is a real optimist and creative and an inventor, but his success has twisted that into something somewhat megalomaniacal.
Algorithm!
So part of this movie is a redemption story for Joshua, finding a way to get him back to the Cade-like inventor that once upon a time he was.
His conscience gets the better of him, and he flips.
Then you have Li Bingbing, who gets kind of caught in the middle.
Between Su Yuemi and Joshua, in China we would say one is red face, another one is white face. You know what? He always very funny and very like a little bit stupid, but for funny way. And I am always very straight and serious and very tough.
Let's see, what can I say? Because she says no.
No, 不是我们吃了，是你吃了，听到吗？是你。
You know, sorry, but actually, maybe I don't even say the Mandarin thing. Just say, you know I can't understand you when you're angry. Just totally disregard. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Is that funnier? Is that?
You want to try both. Try both.
Yeah, try both. Yeah. You know I don't understand you when you're angry.
He is the boss of me, but it's like I am the boss of him.
Action, Batman, action!
Galvatron's hacked into the others. He's activating them all. Su Yuemi controlled him.
And then the next thing you know, she's kicking ass and saving the day as well.
She's tough, yeah. I would not want to get on the wrong side of Bing Bang.
I love
Get to the room.
The cast is really important to the movie and to Michael. Mike is really responsive to them as a group of actors, and I think that elevates the film.
I think we've had good fortune in this franchise to have some really talented actors come and play with robots and dinosaurs and cars.
A new era has begun.
Oh my God!
This is not war. It's human extinction.